यस, बढ़ाना ही मतलब लगाया आप जीटीपी। Good morning, dear students. First of all, today I'd like to give you the syllabus for term PT2. Okay, so please confirm me once with the text if I am audible to you loud and clear. I shall give you the syllabus today for PT2 so that you can start preparing accordingly. Okay, thank you, Harshal, thank you so much. Good morning, Akanksha, Tanvi, Pranati, Sruti, all of you. Okay, so as you can see here, today, like, see, reading and writing, like a letter to the editor will be there. Let me just underline, you can take a screenshot also, like letter to the editor is there. Okay, letter of complaint will be there, official. Okay, so I shall give you some practice so you'll be able to understand. Okay, then you see grammar, so integrated grammar will be there. So in grammar you can say I shall give you questions based on tenses, models, subject verb agreement, and reporter speech. Okay, determiners also. Okay, now literature, you see a letter to God will be there, Nelson Mandela will be there, and from the diary of Annie Frank will be there. These three lessons will be there from first flight, poems, dust of snow, fire and ice, a tiger in the zoo. These three poems will be there, and here you shall have a triumph of surgery, and the thief story. These two will be there. So dear students, this will be your syllabus for the PT2. So I am just reducing the size so that you can take a screenshot, right? So dear students, now you can take a screenshot of this. Turn your mobile in landscape mode, and then take the screenshot of the syllabus. This is the screenshot of the syllabus. So dear students, today I shall discuss little bit about dust of snow and fire and ice. So today I am going to revise, and then I shall send you a MCQ questionnaire or question bank later, sometime later, right? But as of now I shall be revising these two lessons. So dear students, hopefully you have taken the screenshot of your syllabus. These highlighted green color lessons are your syllabus for PT2. From writing skill, letter to editor and letter of complaint, official will be there. From grammar, you know grammar, what are the questions asked normally, not in isolation, they will be asked in the form of reporter speech, gap filling, editing errors, right? So grammar is nothing new for you. you get all these topics covered in the integrated exercise. So you do not have to take separate preparation for grammar. Okay, literature, Letter to God, Nelson Mandela, and From the Diary of Annie Frank. These three lessons you prepared for PT2, and poems Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, and Tiger in the Zoo, and Footprints Without Feet, A Triumph of Surgery, and The Thief Story. Right. So, dear students, this will be your syllabus for PT2. Hopefully, you have taken a note of it. If you have the textbook in front of you, you can also mark it. Right. If you have a textbook in front of you, you can also mark it. Otherwise, take a screenshot and then mark later on. Okay. So, yes. So hopefully all of you have taken the screenshot. If you have taken the screenshot, confirm me so that I can begin my revision of the two poems today. Just text me if you have already taken the screenshot of the syllabus that I have discussed with you. Okay, thank you, Manajay. What about rest of you? Please do text me quickly so that I can go ahead. Nandini, Juhi, Akanksha. Very good, very good, very good. So now I'm going to start my revision of the two poems. Okay. So dear students, yes, thank you, Asmita, Soham, Anusri, Ria, Ayushi. Just couple of seconds, dear students. Let others also take, and then I shall begin. Just a couple of seconds. You wait. So we are going to dust of snow now. Okay, dear students, now as you can see, this one. So first of all, quickly, no, first of all, we'll start with the explanation part, and then we shall go ahead with this. Just hang on for a while. I'm going to uh, come shortly. Okay, so as you can see here, dear students, the way a crow shook down on the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Shook down means here you can see shook the tree and the dust of snow from the tree. So shook down. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Primetime India's House. I'm reporting from Mumbai, and I have with me Ms. Anamika, who is reporting from Delhi on current coronavirus situation. Ms. Anamika, today Mumbai reported 353 new COVID-19 cases. What is the situation in Delhi? Don't you think that is so much today? The COVID-19 cases are dropped on the regular basis. 98 Okay, so you see here, okay, so dear students, you see here the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree, you have to understand here, hemlock tree is a poisonous tree with small white flowers, right? A poisonous tree is a small tree, hemlock tree is a poisonous tree with small white flowers. So please remember this image, hemlock. Okay, then you see here the key points are: once the poet was very sad and hopeless, he was under the hemlock tree. Suddenly a crow that was sitting on the tree shook the tree, and the particles of snow from the tree fell on the poet. It was a very ordinary experience but had a positive impact on him. It was a very ordinary experience, of course, but had a positive impact on him, right? So um, this is it was this is about 4 lines of the poem, and only thing you have to remember is the hemlock tree, which is a kind of a poisonous tree with small white flowers. Okay, now we shall come to the discussion of why the poet has used hemlock tree. Okay, the poet has used the hemlock tree in order, or the poet has made use of an image called, or imagery called hemlock tree, in order to contrast his mood. Okay, in order to represent his mood of loneliness and regretfulness, right? So next you see lines 5 to 8, has given my heart a change of mood. So suddenly whenever a dust of snow fell from the fell from the tree to the on the shoulder of the poet, or on the back of the poet who was sitting below the tree. has given his heart a change of mood. Suddenly, it has brought about a change of mood in his heart. Okay, it has brought about a change of mood in his heart and saved some part of a day I had rued. Okay, saved some part of a day I had rued. Rued also important, dear students. Rued means regretted. Okay, so you can see it's a very ordinary experience, dear students. We also come across similar small experiences, but we never think of writing a poem about it, right? That is what makes a poet very very special. Okay, they will take up a very they will take up a very very say for example real life situation, a very small real life situation, and they make poem or composition out of it. Okay, so that is the greatness of a poet. So what he meant to say is that he meant to say by these 8 lines that, like, see, like a very small incident in everyday life can also bring about a lot of change in your mood, in your state of mind. So that is very important. Understood? He meant to say by this small poem that a very small thing like a dust of snow which just fell over his shoulder has brought about a lot of change in his state of mind, right? Louder. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. It means, and this change of mood has benefited the poet, because otherwise the entire day he would have spent regretting or repenting or being sad. Understood? So if you, so he says that he is thankful to the dust of snow, saying that had dust of snow not fallen over my shoulder or on my back, my mood would not have undergone change. And if there was no change in my mood, in my state of mind, probably I would spend the entire day repenting, regretting, and wasting a lot of time in the process. Therefore, the poet is very much thankful that as very small incidents has brought about a change in his mood, and as a result he became absolutely happy. He's, see, those great poets or those who are great or those who are disciplined, for them a day's waste is something which cannot be made up with anything. Okay, like they value time like anything. If you want to be successful in life, you need to value time. Do not waste your time, right? So why is the poet thankful to a dust of snow or that particular tree where he under which he was sitting? Because a dust of snow on that from that hemlock tree has brought about a tremendous change in his mental state. His state of anxiety, state of unhappiness, state of regret has given way to a relaxed heart, a happy heart. Okay, and in the process he could save a lot of time, because like he could then when there was a change in his mood, change in his mind, he could spend the day making the best use of it. Okay, otherwise what would happen if he remained the same, if he remained as sad as he was in the morning or earlier part of the day, he would probably waste the entire day repenting on this and this and this, right? So that was a waste for him. That time was a waste for him. That is why he is feeling very happy, right? Now you see, a change of mood means the poet has gone through a swing. Swing means change in his mood. The poet has gone through a change in his mood, right? Regretted. So key points you see: a crow dropping dust of snow on the poet had contributed to the swing of his mood. He became optimistic and stopped wasting his day in regretting about his sad mood. This simple incident helped him enjoy the remaining part of the day. So dear students, poetic device also, there might be multiple choice question from poetic device also. So the rhyme scheme is A B A B C D C D. If you have a book in front of you, you can write down with pencil on the right hand side, but don't litter the book, don't make the book dirty, right? um, Okay, so dear students, you understood, I suppose. Rhyme scheme is A B A B C D C D C D C D. So you please take a note of the rhyme scheme, because rhyme scheme is also very important. There might be questions based on the rhyme scheme. So therefore, please take a note of the rhyme scheme and see literary device like symbolism. Hemlock tree is a symbol, crow is a symbol. See, I in my previous revision I was talking about the use of the symbols or imagery, hemlock tree, crow. Why has the poet made use of the symbol hemlock tree and crow? Okay, so in order to contrast his mood and all that, right? We have discussed it. In recapitulation also we shall find this. So these are some of the HOTS types which you need to remember. Okay, so the questions might come also from the HOTS. Okay, so you might be knowing there will be three types of MCQ questions. Okay, one is competency based, another is case study based, and another is assertion and reasoning based, right? So you, all of you, download the CBSE sample paper and see how is the, what kind of questions are given from the category, from that category. Which category? From assertion, reasoning, and case study based, right? So please do check out once. Then you see here recapitulation. While sitting under a tree, dust of snow falls on the poet. This seemingly upsetting incident changed the mood of the poet. He realized that he had just wasted a part of his day repenting. Rather, he could have utilized the same in doing some productive activity. Underlying message for us in our hectic life is that we should have a positive outlook even towards simple acts, because they can lead to the learning of greater lessons of enjoying life. The poem expresses the significance of small things in changing one's mood. The poem reiterates that the little things in life can make huge changes in our future. If we take the hard times in life, uh, of life in stride, eventually something will happen to change our situation into happier times. So this is also one of the messages of the poem, dear students. Okay, the poet was having hard time or having some bad patch, okay, having some bad time. So this particular small experience has brought about a change of mood in his mind. So it is another way of conveying the message that if we are having bad patch or bad time in our life, we should not worry, we should go ahead in life, because bad time gives away to good times in due course of time. So that is why we should not be bogged down or become very much bothered or concerned or let down, too much carried away by the bad phase of our life, because after bad phase good phase also is likely to come, right? So we should find the challenging times in a sporting manner. That is what is also one of the messages, right? So I hope you understood, dear students, this poem. Please study the NCRT, because you don't think is, as it is multiple choice question, so I should not study. No, NCRT question answers also you study, because inside NCRT question answers, from there also some questions might come, okay, in the form of multiple choice question. Therefore, please do not neglect the NCRT question answers of all the subjects you go through. At least revise twice or thrice, so that if any multiple choice comes from NCRT questions, you are able to answer it. Okay, so dear students, that's it for like from this lesson. Now see here, I'll go to fire and ice. Okay, so fire and ice, here the text is not there. So anyway, fire and ice, I suppose the video explanation is there. You can go through the video explanation once here. If you are able to, if you can hear the voice, you can please let me know. And if you are not able to hear the voice, I'll see what I can do. You see, just let me know whether you are able to hear the voice, dear students. Can you hear the sound of the video being played on YouTube? Can you hear the sound?
With plunging attacks and finish off every last one.
Okay, just a minute. कहाँ चला गया?
उम्र स्कूल जाने की थी और सोच कुछ अपना बनाने की, जो लोगों के प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सके। क्योंकि बच्चे जब कुछ अपना बनाते हैं तो उन्हें जिंदगी भर कुछ बनाते रहने का कॉन्फिडेंस मिलता है। तो बचपन की क्रिएटिविटी को शाइन करने का मौका दो।
Book a free coding class on whitehighjunior.com.
Create like a child.
Of the poet, which will be followed by theme of the poem and stanza-wise explanation. So let's begin. Hello students, myself Manathurde, your English helpline professor. I will discuss a poem 4 times from Pulitzer Prize winner in poetry. The poem recipient of more than 400 honorary.
Yeah, please watch it for some time. Please watch.
Before I begin, his poem, let me give you a picture in life as he saw around him, followed by in a language that was simple, stanza-wise explanation to the common man. So Robert Frost gained popularity in America after he returned from England, where he had biography of Robert published 4 times Pulitzer Prize. His first poem and recipient of more than 400 was published within a few months of moving to England. In his poems, he depicted a life as he saw around him in a language that was simple and familiar. In this poem, the poet Robert Frost gained insensitive and indifferent. According to the poet, fire, the poet desires great avarice. Fire and ice are growing more in such a rapid speed that the world would soon perish rapidly, either fire or in your whole life. On the other hand, ice, according to the poet, line-wise stands for hatred, coldness, and some say the world will end in fire, some say indifferent from what I've tasted of desert. The poet says that both fire and ice are growing with such a rapid speed that the world would soon perish, either way, in fire or in ice. Now, let's move on to line-wise explanation of the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I to those who favor fire. Dear students, I've tasted of desire here refers to the fact that the poet symbolically means desire of or greed that will perish the world. Okay. Second is hold with those. Hold with those here refers to the fact that the poet supports the view of those people who favor fire. Now let me explain you the meaning of these lines. The poet suggests 2 possible causes for the end of the world. Both the causes are equally opposite to each other. On one side of the debate are those people who are in favor of fire. On the other hand are those people who favor ice, which will freeze the world. In other words, rising temperature due to global warming will lead to natural calamities like volcano eruptions, earthquakes, and so on, which will one day destroy the world. Symbolically speaking, fire in the poem means desire, greed, or lust, which will eventually cause destruction to the world. On the other hand, the melting of ice from the snowy mountains due to global warming will also cause the end of the world. Symbolically speaking, I stands for hatred, selfishness, or indifference for one another, which is equally capable of destroying this world. Now, let's move on to line 5 to 8. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and suffice. Dear students, perish here refers to die and suffice means be sufficient. Now let me explain the meanings of these lines. The poet expressed his view that if the world had to end for the second time, ice, which is symbolic of hatred and indifference among human beings, is sufficient to cause destruction to the world. He means to say that not only is the fire, which is symbolic of greed, desire, and lust, can cause destruction of the world, but also the ice, which is hatred and indifference and jealousy, which can equally cause the destruction of the world. Now, dear friends, let me recapitulate. The poet suggests two possible causes to the end of this world. Fire and ice can equally cause destruction of the world. Fire in physical sense means rise in global temperature, which will end the world. Metaphorically, fire means desire, greed, and lust. Ice in physical sense means melting of glaciers and snowy mountains, which can equally destroy the world. Metaphorically speaking, ice represents hatred, indifference, and jealousy among human beings that can also contribute to the end of the world. The world has become so materialistic that people have become greedy and selfish and indifferent to the needs of one another. Hence, destruction is inevitable. Now, let's move on to the poetic devices used in the poem. First poetic device used is symbolism. Fire symbolizes human desire, whereas ice symbolizes hatred and indifference. Second poetic device is alteration. Some say the world will end in fire.
Okay, so dear students, you please go through this video, this concept video, and certainly you shall be able to revise it properly. Okay, so these are the 2 poems. I shall send you the question, multiple choice question of these two lessons. Okay, very shortly. So please do revise these concept videos of fire and ice as well as dust of snow. Okay, this concept video how to 2 lessons. Okay, very shortly. How will you revise this concept? You will go to the of fire and ice as well as
go to
dust of
YouTube
snow.
on my channel, then go to the playlist.
2 lessons.
Okay,
very
and then
shortly.
you find out the lesson fire and ice. Otherwise, I can also send you the link. Okay, dear students. So let's wind up now today. Okay, I shall keep sending you the multiple parents or eyes, might be there after tomorrow. Okay. So thank you, dear students. Bye bye. Have a nice day today. Okay. I shall keep sending you actually due to some parents or eyes, might be the internet connectivity issue, might be the previous stopped today. I shall keep sending you actually due to some